Hi, it's Snorgle. Welcome back to Minecraft. Specifically, exploring Minecraft. So I just check the world out, head in one direction, this direction right here. Not, oh gosh, let's not die. And just check out Minecraft. I haven't been playing it very long, maybe 7 months at this point. And I thought it would be really cool to just hang out and just see what Minecraft has to offer. See what this world specifically has to offer. What is it? This is one of my favorite parts here. Just hit the open ocean. What is that in front of us? See that right there? There's a glitch? I can't tell. I guess it was. That was odd. Just check it out. And, the thing that I always find it really interesting, there's the topography of Minecraft. I mentioned this before. I find it extremely fascinating. Not quite as fascinating as the procedurally generated trees. I think the procedurally generated trees are amazing. They never cease to amaze me. Like literally every single time. They're just so cool. I keep meaning to download the code and decompile it and take a look at that specifically, because I'm very fascinated how that's done. I think it's really, really cool. Whoever did that should be proud of themselves, because I don't think people appreciate how wonderful the procedurally generated trees are. I could just talk about them for ages and ages because I think they're so cool. And I think there's very few things in games that are that cool. And when you look at, like, I'm playing Minecraft 1.0.0, that's another series I have going on. And when you look at the trees there, they're not as cool. I don't know this for sure, but I'm reasonably sure just by looking at them that they're not procedurally generated. I think they were taken from a library of trees, but the new ones are not that way. And the variations and how each tree is so unique and specific and built by a really complex set of rules, procedures, one might even say. I think it's fascinating. And I think people don't appreciate how hard that is. There's a lot of ways to screw up procedurally generated worlds. See the same kind of thing over there? I don't know what that is. No, is that a dolphin following us? I'll be scorped. Nice sun right overhead. Looks like it's about noon. We just move along till we come to the next large or even small landmass. I love that sound. Just the kind of subtle paddling. Kind of marvelous. I can't believe that I've traveled almost, well, as of right now, 340,000 blocks. That is an enormously long way to travel in Minecraft. I don't have to tell you. I'm sure you know. Is that a tree or is that, I can't tell is that a tree or is that a building? It's a tree. Okay. Oh, it's starting to rain too. It's nice. Very nice. I love the little pixel raindrops, splashes. Really like that. Here we go. Yeah. I don't know how much land there is here, but a little bit. It looks like. It kind of maybe it looks like there's a landmass coming up over there too. Let's just go around this little thing until we hit something more substantial. Let's keep going. In my other world, I have actions and stuff enabled, and I typically just had the animations and all the textures off. In the last update for Bedrock, I think that they ended up moving all the files, the game files, which is a really odd decision. And it screwed up a bunch of things. So there's no controls for actions and stuff. I can't control the level of it, which is a little bit frustrating. Again, it's not the end of the world, but it is frustrating. You know. I'm curious how that could even happen. You know, I can't imagine the amount of flack that the developers are getting of a bunch of various paid plugins, add-ons. People would think, "Oh, you screwed this up. How come I can't adjust it?" And it's not their fault. They obviously didn't know, or they would have patched it ahead of time. So I'm hoping that gets patched soon, because I'm not a fan of the textures, but I am a fan of the animations. I think the animations and action stuff are really, really world class. Very cool. Look how deep this ocean is. Good sklurg. Oh, hello. Is this so high? This is one of the deeper oceans we've seen. It seems like it. Definitely seems like it. It's also interesting to me when you look at like some changes they made in the very first 1.0 world. It was much like Earth. It was the vast majority was ocean, with just some land, just a few land masses. Like maybe 1/3 of it made up of land masses. The rest is ocean. I don't know if that's exact proportion, but I think I don't know. I remember which version they changed it. But they did change it to make it much more land dense, which I can see, because you want to explore, do something like this, and you spend most of your time just like this. Like we spent 7 minutes here out in the open ocean, which is fine. We'll come to land soon enough. But I find it very interesting. I find it very fascinating. It's interesting to me how thoughtful they are about that kind of thing. That Mojang seems very open to looking at things and correcting what they think was wrong, And there's a recent couple of weeks ago, I guess, chat about the exploding gribblers, the creepers, and how somebody mentioned that if they were to bring them in today, they wouldn't bring the creepers in. And it was controversial. And I understand that. I do understand that. I feel like the creepers are a little bit overpowered, and not because, partially, because you can have full netherite armor that's not enchanted, and they will one-shot you. They explode near you, you're dead. The other thing is, they make literally no noise when moving around until they're about to explode. And both those seem deeply unfair. Just from a game design standpoint, Seems like a very unfair thing. Who am I, though? What do I know? I'm not a Minecraftologist. I'm just a guy still learning how to play it. You can kind of see where the sun is a little bit. This ocean is exceptionally large. Hey, what's that? What is that? Curious. Something sticking out of the water a little bit. Oh, nighttime. Is it going to rain all night? Maybe. Maybe it will. I haven't had the night. It seems to be shifting to night in very distinct color shifts. I think that I think the last update really screwed up a bunch of things, not just where the fire locations are held. Because I also noticed, like in my other world, I don't know about this one, my other world, the position of the sun, where the sun rose and fall, it wasn't 180 degrees from each other, right? It was in a distinctly different place. It's really, really odd. I kind of set up my house so that I could somebody squeak at me? I kind of set up my house so that I could look out the window and see the sunset and hang out with my cat and look at the sunset. And now it's in a different window, it's on a different side of the house. And it's a little bit odd. It's very strange. you have to wonder. I mean, my view is that I think that my guess would be that Bedrock is significantly important to Microsoft, who owns Mojang. But they also are probably, giving the leash a little tug and letting them know who's boss. I would imagine having a little bit of experience and knowing some people who have worked with and for Microsoft. That wouldn't surprise me. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go to sleep instead of spawn point here. Just, not just to be on the safe side. There we go. The sun's coming up. How are we doing? 53. We could use a little bit more. You want a haircut? Sure. Why not? So, like this experience right here, right? Sun's coming up. We've got this hill in front of us. This just delightful sort of field here. Some death holes. It's very cool. Yeah, I don't really. I really just want the white gold, mainly because I leave the beds behind, because if I die, I don't want to spawn back at original spawn, which is 343,000 blocks away. That would be inconvenient. And I could teleport to my last things. I would prefer not to do that, but I could, and I wouldn't mind. I would do that rather than, death hole. Let's just go over what's a little more, presumably a little more safe, maybe. Yeah, see, now, and look at this. Look at this shot. Look at this. That's just marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Isn't that beautiful? And again, these come down to the plains, and then we hit this little foresty area. Very cool. And I feel like I'm learning. I'm seeing so many things that not like hardcore unique things, but a little bit unique. Like I'm seeing a number of those. I think I've seen 5 so far of those gigantic portals. I've had a couple of people say they've been playing Minecraft their whole life and they've never seen those before. And I can see why when you look it up, and you look it up in the wiki. It's a small chance for those to generate, but it is interesting. I haven't seen a forest temple, and I've seen a bunch of desert temples. I've seen quite a few desert temples. But I haven't seen any forest temples, and I would really, really, really like to see one. There we go. There we go. You can't hide from the shears. How am I doing? 59, that's fine. I think we're good. I just like to keep around a full stack so that we can, speaking of, let's just go ahead and make a bed so we'll have one. Is that not, oh no, it's not, is it? Nope, we need regular. No, nope. I'm being stupid. I'm being dumb. Put this back. Do this. This. There we go. Got ourselves a bed. Got ourselves a bed. Oh, that's right. I forgot I had feather falling, and I Wouldn't mind putting it on my boots. Please go away. Okay. It's always, and again, I've mentioned this before, but I can't look how like there's a certain quality to how densely packed this forest is. Hello. I think it's really fascinating. See if we can get over here without dying. Oh, then just some more mountainous areas in front of us. Is that a cherry biome? Oh, it is. Let's go look at it. I really, really like the cherry biomes. I think they're really cool. I think they're really cool. Let's see. Okay. Go over this way just a little bit so we look closer to the cherry biome. And I do head in that direction generally, but it's not, I'm not weird about it, you know? There's some people who I don't know, in Minecraft, but you know, in different things that they're like, I'm going to head in this direction. I'm only going to vary, you know, however much they're going to vary. It's very little, maybe, you know, 18 blocks on either side, or I guess with Minecraft it'd be 16. Yeah, everything has to be an octet. But I'm pretty loose about it, as you can imagine. You can see that's, you know, negative 11,800. Oh man, look at that. I really do like the cherry biome. I have not seen that many cherry trees in real life, and I really would like to see more. I have seen some, of course, you know. But I know that there's some places in the world where cherry trees are wow. Look at that. Look at that. That is so cool. Look at the size of that tree. And the trunk structure. See with that. Like these are very similar, but they're not the same. That one's cool. These are so cool. And I love that it's just like constantly dropping the blossoms. That's really neat. You can see like there's some down there and there's a bunch down here. That's so cool. I don't think I've seen, maybe I haven't, I just didn't think about it. I'm not sure I've seen bees on cherry trees in Minecraft before. Look at that. Oh, I love it so much. Look at the color of that too. It's so beautiful. Whoever designed those trees should pat themselves on the back. It's such a great job. And look at this, these two trees just almost forming like a single thing. That's really cool. I also like how the cherry trees have a tendency of being higher off the ground. The foliage has a tendency of being higher. I think that's really interesting. Look at the size of this cherry grove. This cherry biome is massive. I don't think I've seen one this large before. That's really cool. I didn't know they could be this large. That's really neat. And it spans like almost two mountains. It does lay up just about. Maybe different peaks of the same mountain. I'm not sure. I'm not a mountainologist, but this is really cool. Hold on. There. This is so neat. How are we going to get up here? Yeah, I have 20 of these. That might be enough. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. And the biome continues up here. So cool. That's so neat. And look at the color of that end grain. Isn't that neat? Wow. Wow. Look at this oak tree. Look how massive it is. Holy cow. That's cool. Wow, that's really neat. Holy crap, the cherry biomes keep going. This is so cool. I almost fell to my death. So cool. It keeps, that's gotta be kind of part of the same biome. It's gotta be. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I'd like to imagine it is. I think that gives a curious. That makes me think about something. We'll put another bed here. Why not? I mean, maybe it's a different biome, but I would think that it would be the same one. I'm tempted to do that, but I really want to check that out. Come on now. That's cool. Wow, it goes all the way over there too. That's just enormous. It's so huge. That's really cool. Let's go down and we'll decide what we're going to do. Okay. Why not? Why not? Maybe we will check it out. I think we do. It's the easiest way to get up there. Maybe over here, this looks a little bit more easier to navigate. A little bit. A little bit easier. Just a bit. It causes us to backtrack a tiny bit, but that's all right. No big deal. No big deal. Can backtrack a little bit. Hello. How you doing? Really? Good. Glad to hear it. Oh, heck yeah. So cool. I'm not sure I've seen one like right up facing like a snow biome before. That's really neat. Yeah, that's really cool. Pretty cool too. Yeah, look at that. Just snuggled right up next against it. How cool. How cool is that? That's really neat. Miscellaneous scary cave noises. But I want to keep going. Look at that. That's so cool. Look, the guy kind of comes into there. That's so neat. Oh, man. That's a death fall, man. Nope. Yeah, not doing that. I guess we'll keep going up. I guess. Till we come across something a little more accommodating to get us down. Oh, that's so cool. What an amazing view. Wonder when they added the cherry biomes. I don't think that they were in the original Minecraft. What's that? Is that a ruined portal? It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Let's go check it out. It's going to be hard to get there, but just, you know, one step at a time. Oh, this is going to hurt. Yep. Okay, we'll go down here. Yeah, definitely some kind of ruined portal. Go back up. I feel like kind of approaching it over from the side is going to be a little bit easier. I don't know why I think that. I don't really have anything to objectively tell me that's the case. That's okay, though. There we go. Yeah, it is. It's a room portal with a ton of lava. We need to be really careful here. Where is... Here it is. Anything here I want. We'll definitely take the obsidian. I think I have almost a full stack of obsidian. Yes. Yeah. Well, that's 3. Where's all our obsidian? What was all the obsidian? Oh, there it is, 53. Okay, hold on. What? There. Okay. This is a very incomplete one. Very incomplete indeed. That's okay, though. Ouch. Stop it, stupid thing. Told you. Dangerous. Be careful. That was really cool. That was really cool. I was chatting in the live stream today about some of the scripted Minecraft content and how I don't think incredibly deceptive, but a little bit deceptive they are. And it got me thinking. I need to check out more stuff where people tell stories with Minecraft, because I think that there's a lot of opportunities for that, and I doubt I'm the first person to think that it's a really amazing vehicle to tell really cool stories. I'm positive that I am not the first person to think of that. So I need to look it up. Probably has some suggestions of things for me to check out, which I think I'm going to, because I think it would be a really amazing and accessible vehicle to tell really interesting stories. Not like the Minecraft movie. I mean, like, you know, it doesn't have to be, whoa, okay. It doesn't have to be, you know, lore. It could be completely unrelated. Set in the future, some sort of fantasy settings. Let's see, there's a death drop there. Just keep going over till we find something passable. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this. I love how when you start walking in these areas, the landmass is just huge. Hold it. How are we doing? Yeah, we can use a little more. The landmass is just so huge, but we're fine. Well, okay. And sometimes they're huge, and sometimes you think they're going to be huge, and they're not. They're just a kind of a rather small island. I think that's interesting. Look how tall these trees are. Look how tall they are. I haven't been to a forest in real life in a long time. I always kind of like it. It's peaceful, you know? You keep your wits about you, because, you know, the woods can be dangerous as well. But I know, I'm sorry. Okay. Look at these giant trees are just so cool. Look at that. So neat. And the way the land just kind of ambles on, you know? It's marvelous. Just marvelous. Be careful, these things stick. They're prickly. Just kind of goes up and down and rambles on. I love it so much. Hello, don't mind me. Just passing through. So interesting. Okay, that's fine. Wasn't sure I was going to be able to get through there. We're fine though. We're doing well. Okay. Oh, and more open ocean. Heck yeah. Can we drop without killing ourselves? That's the question. Possibly. Ooh, that's not too bad. Okay, we can. Let's go. Uh-oh. Tried to do the cool jump in. Failed miserably. Traveling at night's always an interesting experience. So interesting how they choose some blocks floating and they're okay with it. Like, I'm genuinely curious. They didn't have to do that, of course. But they chose to, which is the part that I find curious and interesting. I think that's fascinating. Question is, are these... Is this just a small island? Or no, I think it's a small island, yeah. I don't think I've seen a village on a very small island. I wonder if that's possible. It seems like it might not be. I don't rightly know, though. I don't know. Is that a tree or a little tower or something? Probably a tree, I'm not sure. Not sure. It's a little too irregular to be a building. And it doesn't sort of look like other Minecraft buildings that I've seen. So I think it's most likely a tree. Most likely a tree. Sometimes it's nice to come out at night too, because you see a very different world, you know? Extremely different. Another island here up on our right, though. Looks smallish. Moderate size, maybe. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. You never really know until you start exploring it. I mean, sometimes there's small ones that are genuinely very small. Other times there's ones that are just the size of continents, you know? Literally the size of continents. Just huge, sprawling landmass. This looks like it might be good sized. Some fireflies there, a little firefly bush. Okay. There we go. There we go. So it's weird for me. My new world is in Java, and the first world and this world that I ended up doing we're in Bedrock. And there's a lot of small, subtle things about Java. There's some bigger things about Java that make a difference. But there's a bunch of small, subtle things that I think really dramatically change the gaming experience. I understand why Java is considered the sort of definitive version. Nothing wrong for you Bedrock, because this is perfectly playable. I just find the way some controls work and things like that, I think it's really interesting. It's really fascinating. I'd love to know why they made the choices they made, you know? I was curious about that, especially when something is so, what I consider to be it's so polished and so good. And the stuff where it isn't polished, things like water physics and stuff that are kind of squirrely and don't make sense, I feel like that's a situation where somebody hacked something together because they had to, and then they thought they'd get back around to it, and everybody got used to it, and they were like, well, crap, you know, now we can't change it because everybody's used to it. I was watching Technoblade, 3-part series on the Great Potato War, and I had not seen it before. I'd seen Technoblade was the only Minecraft YouTuber that I watched before, you know, before I really didn't consume any Minecraft content because I don't like crafting games. I've mentioned this before, and I didn't really consume any crafting content, but I liked Technoblade's video because I thought he was clever and funny, and I thought that he could tell a good yarn. You know, he always had good stories, very funny, entertaining, and in a very OG style. You know, I don't think there's not a lot of Minecrafters that do that now. Dan2DM in his own way. Different than Technoblade, though. And I just started watching Dan 2DM. I never watched him before I started playing Minecraft. But I'd always catch Technoblade on some things. Because I liked his videos. I found them entertaining, even if I didn't really play Minecraft. And the Potato Wars, that just killed me. That was so funny. So funny. Okay. Here we go. What are we coming up on? Okay, more water. This is curious. Very curious. A little birch forest here. That looks like that's more birch over there. Which is fine. Okay. Find a good place to get out and continue exploring. I think birch is probably one of the more versatile woods here in Minecraft. Just from an aesthetic standpoint. I like how light it is. I think it makes it pair really well with a lot of other woods. Works well with oak and dark oak and look at that single tree. It's on top of the mountain. Oh, it's got a friend. A couple of friends. Pretty sparse though. Pretty sparse. Let's go over here because this looks like a giant death crater. Yeah. It's water in the bottom, so maybe not death, but a giant inconvenience crater. How's that? Okay. Here we go. And look, all of this leading into this really delightful plains. Just kind of lightly rolling plains. When I was traveling full time, I'd never been to Pennsylvania before ever, and decided, you know, let's go take a look at Pennsylvania and see what it's like. And so I found a place to stay in a little ski resort town, tiny little town, probably like a couple of hours out of Pittsburgh. And I'd never seen it. Had real life things like this, just this kind of rolling plains that I'd never seen before. I've kind of seen them in movies but it's not the kind of thing like if you see something in movies or something, it doesn't doesn't hit the same as when you see it in real life. You know, you always think, oh, they're over exaggerating, they'll do something or whatever, you know, but no, I mean, it was really cool. Really neat. It's a little bit more till the moon goes down. The moon sets. And we have another biome. Oh, those really huge trees? I really like those trees. I like those trees a lot. I like those trees a lot. But I do think I'm going to, yeah, these massively huge trees. Those are really cool. I do think I'm going to continue another series of the very first world that I did, because that world is, I think it's not only special to me, but I think that there were some the petting zoo, the animal themed petting zoo, the different rides to do, different attractions around there. I think I want to do more of that, and I enjoy my other standard world, you know. But I just think I want to try that. I also want to try hardcore mode. And I was, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day about this and saying that I think that you get so many people playing hardcore and then they get a totem of undying. You're not playing hardcore anymore. Because if you have a shulker box full of totems undying, you're just not going to die. No matter what. You do something stupid, you're not going to die. There's no consequences anymore. So it's not hardcore anymore. You've gamed the system. Curious. Which, you know, that's probably an unpopular opinion, but it is what it is. It's what I think. And again, I'm not a Minecraftologist. I'm just a guy. That's cool. These are really cool. I like all the vines in the forest too. Gives a real immersion, you know? Moo? What do you do? I still feel like so many of the mobs sound are, you know, like Frank from HR in Mojang. Like, I'm probably wrong. I am probably wrong, but I just think it's funny. And when I try to look up like voice actors in Minecraft, I mean, all you get are Minecraft stories and Jack Black and whatever, and just, you know, nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, in the OG Minecraft. Yeah, we don't need the boat. We're fine. Okay. Don't know what that is. Don't care. Okay. And then look, this slightly changed. It's a little more aggressive here. It's not the rolling hills anymore. There's these kind of aggressive dips in the topography. That's cool. That's very cool. Oops. And I think we'll go around this mountain. We'll go over here because I think we can. Nope. Mm-mm. I think that is a one-way ticket to Deathland. Population, not me. Actually, in a boat, it probably wouldn't kill me, right? That looks like it goes down a long way, though. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that looks like it goes down a long way. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it'd be in a boat, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But getting out of it would be such a pain. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sure. Come up here. We got out of it. We're okay. All right, let's actually, while we're thinking about this, go ahead and let's go ahead and make a bed. Okay. There. Just so we're ready. No big deal. Okay. The sheep gently bleating in our ears. Ooh. Sorry, I whistled there and didn't mean to. The heck you saying, Snorgle? Stop whistling. I apologize. I apologize. Yeah, look, and we get right over there. It just kind of flattens out a little bit. With a little bit aggressive things, but so interesting. Oh, and we're opening up to a new biome, a completely new biome. That's cool. Let's go over there. Yeah, heck yeah. I think we can. Is that Badlands? Let's go find out. I think it is. Kind of looks like it. I like the Badlands. It's probably my second favorite biome in Minecraft. Yeah, it is a little biome, a little Badland biome. Nice. I was supposed to be moving over there. My overactive imagination. Going this way? Yeah, let's go up into the biomes, into the Badlands. Whoa, okay. Careful, careful. Faster but careful. There we go. Cool. See more floaty rocks. So interesting. Really fascinating that they allow that, and you don't see them that often, so it's not that common, but it's common enough that this isn't like, what the splurp, if you saw this, right? Whoa. Whoa. So death drop. We'll just be a little careful. Well, you only live once. I think I can get down here. None of this is too bad. There's an armadillo. Ouch. Hello. Head back up then, I guess. What do you think the easiest way to get back up is? I think over here. Yeah, this looks like a little bit more accessible. Just a bit. Not a huge deal, just a bit. There we go. There. There we go. Look at the colors of the colors of these rocks. So vibrant. I love it. Apparently, the Badland was originally called Mesa, which I understand why they changed that, because Mesa refers to the structures, not the color. Look at that, though. Isn't that cool? Look at that view. Very cool. Love it. What's that? what I thought. It's a ruined portal. Huh. Is it one of the big ones? It is one of the big ones. Huh. What do we got? There's a gapple. We'll take more obsidian, sure. Protection 1. Fire protection. I don't need any of this other stuff. This looks... I guess it's not. I was going to say that looks a little different, but I guess it's not. This is so crazy. Why is there more obsidian over here? I don't have a diamond pickaxe, so I don't think I can take that, but... I don't need the gold. I'm fine, but... That's interesting. Like, why is there obsidian here? What was this? What was the purpose of this obsidian? Like, were they making another portal that you jumped into from, like, this way? Does that work? I'm assuming it wouldn't, but what do I know? I'm almost tempted to ignite this one and see where it goes. You know what? Let's try it. We have tons of obsidian. So we'll place our bed down here. Look at that lovely sunset. Vibrant visual sunset. I do admit, I miss the pixely sunset in Bedrock. I do legitimately miss that, but that's okay. That's all right. That is all right. Yeah, let's finish that up. See where it happens to head in the nether. Does look nice, doesn't it? Looks very nice. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. Let's just try that. You know, what the heck? Let's see. Like I said, we had this. We're not going to use nearly all that, but excuse me. Okay. Let's put this back away. That was not nearly as much as I thought it would be. I didn't see any crying. So this should work. Yeah, let's go and find out. It's peaceful, so it should be fine. Okay. This is definitely the nether. There's some pig people. They seem to be cool with me. I mean, I'm wearing gold, so it's fine, but... Okay, there's some lava here. More pig... This is the first time I've seen the pigos! This is the first time! All the time I've been in the nether, I don't think I've been live up with the pigos before. They're cool. That one has a crossbow, though, and it's kind of creeping me out, so... Okay, that was neat. I'm going to try to walk into... That was cool. Let's see what this jerk has to offer. We got a ton of emeralds burning a hole in our pocket. What do you got? Red dye. You got nothing. That was interesting. That is an extra large portal. It's not as big as the other ones. But it is that kind of novelty sized, I think. Maybe not. I do think that's a pretty good place to end this video. Thank you so much for tagging along with me as I explore Minecraft. Talk about games, just talk about life, different things. Trying to develop a more intimate relationship with the game. It's working. I'm getting there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for more Minecraft. See you in the next video.